What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Burndown YouTube channel. We're back at it today on the old Maliboom. So I can hear the clock ticking and I'm not nervous, but we're getting in that mode to where it's like fight or flight, right? So we got to get this thing done. And I made a list of things and hopefully I can do them in a particular order that works well, right? So I shot a whole video the other day on this thing. This is a mid plate, and then I called my boy Ryan because I wanted to remind him on the converter we need some extra length on the snout so it meets with the crank and life's good and everything is happy. And he was like, 1/4 inch? Why do you need a 1/4 inch? And I explained it was aluminum, and then he said I should have had steel. So I also have a front plate, which I was just going to do mid plate and the motor mount, right? And then again, going back and forth with Ryan, he was like, you're already there, if you have to wait for the steel plate, he's like, I would advise you to just go ahead and do both and take the pressure out the center cylinders, especially on like aluminum block. So we'll leave the solid motor mounts in so we can mount the mid plate and front plate so nothing changes height wise or anything with the motor, any of that fun stuff. So once it's in, welded, bolted down, everything, it'll work properly. We'll just get rid of the solid motor mounts that I bought and put in. You know, why do I do this to myself? So I bought this one and I bought this guy over here at the same time. I was like, just in case. So we're buying it, we might as well have it, maybe down the road. Well, today is down the road, so let's throw this thing over here. So there you go, aluminum front plate. I believe this is the ITC guy. I don't even know where to set it. We'll set it on the trash can. So I believe this is the ITC guy. And then ordered more junk. I got this. So this is pretty cool. This is a brace kit should be for this motor plate. Right? So this bolts in and does the deal, because otherwise you're just grabbing it off a few bolts here. It looks like there's, I don't know what's down here, but typically it's like water pump bolts, I think, that kind of holds it from rocking. So this gives it added structure. This is a nice piece from ITC. And then we got, might as well show you, show and tell, share and tell, right? A cam degree wheel. And I was just gonna make a giant sticker and make one and do it that way, because I gotta degree the cam and the motor when I slap it in. But this thing was like 25 bucks. So time is of the essence. So I think making a sticker and running around and screwing off for 25 bucks, I wasn't gonna bother. So let's pop the hood on the I'm tired, man, on the Maliboom, and then we'll get to looking at this thing and see if it'll clear hot side and get some measurements and see if it runs into anything and kind of figure out how we're gonna go about getting this in the old Maliboom. So one of the reasons I was reluctant to run the plate is it moves everything, right? But the water pump's not gonna move. But then again, I have truck spacing, and once you start changing stuff, you have issues. So there's an issue there, because this is gonna move back 1/4 inch and I don't have a quarter there, so this is gonna hang off. So that's super fun. And then the front of it's here, looks like we're here, so we can cut out for that. So that is nice and open. I wanted to mount this too before I mount the watered air intercooler, so that way I didn't mount that and then the plate would be an issue. And over on this side, we got this guy to contend with. So we're gonna have to come down and figure out how we get it mounted here, but it looks like I could probably do like a nice like L bracket, something pretty sturdy that we can burn like up and then over, and then maybe we can offset it or whatever, just make the flat part work there, so that way I don't have to mess with any of this stuff, because this thing is already in and ready to rock and roll. So let me start measuring stuff, take all the accessories off. I put these on anyway loosely just for the hot side, so now that that goes in, I'm not really too worried about that. And then you can see we have plenty of room for fun here, so that's not going to affect none of it. So I can take all this off. This doesn't need to live on here anymore, and we will start measuring and getting hopefully this thing kind of situated. we've got bolt holes now that we can measure from and to on the old plate or roof. So let me bring that over here, get some measurements and kind of take a look at it and see. But yeah, we're gonna have to, it has to go on the frame, so that'll be the trick. I think probably just sit like on top of the frame, right? We'll just cut it out for this guy and land it here instead of trying to make a big U or whatever. But let me mess with it, and then we'll bring you guys back if I have an idea what we're doing. So this is what we've come up with. I screwed a couple pump bolts in there, clamped this dude down. You know, this is a measurement from the bolt hole, this one and this one. And then I measured to the V-band, like the back side of it, right? So when this thing slides down, it has to be able to slide behind that. So we can't have anything here. So all of this needs to go, and all of that needs to go. And then we should be able to slide this down and bolt it on. And then we'll figure out how to mount these sections here, and then what to do about this stuff in here. If we clean it up, leave it, all that fun stuff for structure. It looks like there's big holes here. So we'll just get rid of this, get rid of that. We'll just leave it square and ugly. And then hopefully we can bolt it down. Then we can do more mad scientist measurements. But I think that that is a really healthy start for today. And then we can start making templates and things maybe tomorrow with our solid hour a day. Trimmed a little more off. My buddy John stopped by. So let me see if we nailed it or if we didn't. Oh, I think I see victory, boys. I also see some problems. Let me see if I can get one of these bolts started. Alright, let's see if it'll stay in place. Oh, I have multiple problems going on. Not really problems, but alright. Alright, look at that. Woo! So this measurement was decent. Give ourselves some room. This one, we have that guy facing this way. So we could probably turn that, right? And then I have to build a mount, so this guy is gonna be goofy. And then the fuel, so we'll have to make room for the fuel. I think I could just trim the bottom of this. It doesn't need to really be over there. We can come around. I don't want this rubbing on the plate. But it comes all the way over on the frame rail here. All the way over on the frame rail here, and we could build stuff to stand off. So we'll clock these, mess with that, and then kind of trim stuff up so it sits nice and flush. I'll get some actual bolts that hold this. But yeah, man, everything, she's all in there. She's in like Flynn. And then I have those other, I don't know where they went. It was over here somewhere. Oh, this guy. So I'll have to figure out, I don't even know how these go on there. So I'll have to figure out where those live. Or those are gonna bolt on the next go round. So yeah, it's getting late. And then I have all this junk. My friend John, I gave him a rolly cart, so he stopped by, and then we were kind of catching up. So now I've got extra junk to clean up because I took it out of my rolly cart, and then I have all this stuff. But I'm glad that that is there, and that is a great start. Then we should be able to correct everything else tomorrow, I'm hoping, and then we'll make templates and maybe even get stuff. I'd love to have it tacked in place, so we'll see. Yeah, it'll be close. I don't know, we could probably make something that works around all that stuff, you know what I mean? We'll come off the frame, or I don't know, we'll have to see what side. Maybe if we did it on the back side, it would be cool, so when you slide it in, but I guess you can take that off. But yeah, if you're on the front, then it captures it, so obviously probably somewhere on the back side. And then we'll have to figure out how to clock those guys too. But just thinking out loud, I'm gonna clean up. I appreciate you guys following along. And yeah, I'm not stressing too bad yet, but the pressure is kind of on, and I don't really have anything else on the horizon. Getting this trailer was a bit of a stretch for, you know, budget, and then also for time frame. So that is it. We'll have to mess with the trailer a little bit, but ultimately all hands on deck for this thing. And then once we get closer, if I have to take a little time off of work, we are going to make sure that we are going. I'm way too invested to not show up to the party with the Maliboom this year. Rocky Mountain Race Week 2023. I'm out.